Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to ask the question of, did Mike Rashid and Mark Lobliner snitch? Did they roll on the Iron Addicts Miami drug bust? Were they involved in that regard? So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. And here's the thing, guys. People stand there and say, oh, YouTubers don't necessarily know anything, but what you need to realize is that when YouTubers start talking about these situations and you have a video that gets, over 100,000 views, people from the inside of these situations will sometimes contact you. And in my case, I'm not going to go into all the details, but yeah, because I did talk about this, because it did come up, there are people who have been involved in the actual bust who have come to me, talked to me, confirmed their identities. I am going to put out other information later when I have permission to do so from people, because they don't want things put out too quickly. But yeah, there's a lot going on. And people had sent me early on in all of this. Johnny Bravo, this guy, had done a video saying that Mark and Mike had snitched. All right, that's what they were saying. He was saying. Well, I found out that he did have inside information. This Johnny Bravo guy had spoken to people who were involved in this. This wasn't something that he just came up with on his own. Now, that's interesting. Because here's the thing. Both of these guys have publicly claimed innocent. You guys already know that Mike Rashid screwed up. I've already said in another video, look, the guy looks like he snitched on himself. And a lot of people are going, Jason, why do you have such a hard-on over Mike Rashid? I don't have a personal beef with the guy. Mike Rashid and I have never spoken to each other. We've had no business interactions, no personal interactions. I literally know nothing about the guy other than what I see on the internet. I have no reason to hate him personally. I don't have a beef with the guy. What I have a beef with is when I see something happen that is very obvious to anyone who understands anything about the world, that he's lying about this shit, and that this is a major story because it's a major cover-up in YouTube fitness. It is people who are involved with a major drug operation that was international in scope, who are denying it. And so here's the thing. Yeah, rumors have come to me, again, from people who would know that Mark and Mike may have actually snitched on some of this. And, that's the thing. There's a lot more going on than people realize. And it also looks like the informants involved in this may have hired Rick Collins. And that says something. That means there's a lot of money involved. Someone with a lot of money has got into this. Because people who don't know who Rick Collins is an attorney, I believe he's over in Virginia, who specializes in anabolic steroid defense. He is extremely expensive. This is a lawyer that you basically need a 6-figure retainer to hire him. If you don't have 6 figures to plop down in one check to him right up front, he won't even talk to you. So this is, you're talking about an extremely expensive, high-powered attorney. Someone dropped a lot of money into this. And the interesting thing is that someone like Mike Rashid is about to have bigger problems in this, because there may be evidence out there that Mike Rashid has been way underreporting his taxes, and he wouldn't actually have the sort of money to hire someone like Rick Collins. And there is a rumor circulating that Rick Collins is representing Mike Rashid in this, and possibly Lobliner. So this is where it gets interesting, and that's the thing. If they have hired a high-powered attorney, which again, that's not confirmed. The problem is, Mike let out a bunch of really stupid information on his part. And the thing is, you get the impression when you listen to what Mike's saying, he's just trying to do anything he can for damage control to cover stuff up. Lying, doing whatever he says, but he's exposing his lack of business sense, his lack of legal sense, and he's letting people out there get to him. That's what he's doing. He's letting people get to him. And that was a big mistake. That's going to hurt him. But the thing is, Mark has been basically saying, look, I know nothing about this. With Mike, we have a very clear connection. All right, it's very clear that Mike knew about the operation. He advertised the operation publicly. Mike lives in the city where the distribution was. And that's the thing that looks really suspicious to any investigator right up front. Anyone even looking from the outside. That the thing was being run out of the gym in Miami that Mike is owner of. But the distribution center, the main warehouse, was in the city that Mike lives in, over 1,000 miles away. All the products were being shipped from there. And then he publicly says, well, I told him, Richard Rodriguez, that he can't store the drugs at my gym. But incidentally, instead, the drugs are all being stored and shipped out of the same city Mike Rashid lives in and supposedly runs all of his businesses out of, other than the one in Miami. Again, anyone looking at that's going to laugh. That's laughable. That he didn't know anything about the possible illegal aspects of an operation. Come on. And the fact that Mike hasn't been arrested yet, and that's the thing. When you look at all the stuff there, that means that Mike very well may have snitched. But again, I've heard from people on the inside that Rashid absolutely has snitched. But again, that could end up biting him in the ass in the long term. The thing with Mark is that Mark has taken a different approach with this publicly. Lobliner has got up and said, hey, I know nothing about this, nothing about the operation. I'm not, told the guy a few days before, I'm not a representative of this. And that's the interesting thing. What if Mark actually did tell Richard Rodriguez a couple days before the arrest? And that's what he's claiming. The week before the arrest, I told him, take my name off of all of this. Why would Mark do that when Mark has publicly advertised the website? He had publicly advertised the website and said they were good people and a good company and a good TRT clinic that he might be using. And then all of a sudden, right before the arrest, he jumps up and says, take my name off everything. That's what Mark is basically saying. I want people to think about that for a minute. Think about that. Why would Mark change his mind all of a sudden? If that's true and he actually did that, I'm going to take him at his word and assume he really did do that. Coincidentally, just a few days before the arrest, he jumps up and does that, wants his name off everything. Did he know there was going to be an arrest? How would he know there was going to be an arrest? What's up with that timing? And then after the arrest, of course, Mark pulls everything down, makes that video, pulls his videos of him endorsing the company, claims he's not a representative of this business, knows nothing about it. But, before he had talked in detail, I don't know how the guy is getting prescriptions for Trenbolone. I didn't think that was possible, because it's not possible. But Mark did all this supposedly right before the arrest. Changed his mind. Again. Timing is everything. And that timing says a lot. He just happened to do that right before the arrest. What did Mark know? And the other thing is, here's the problem Mark runs into. If Mark had been working with this company and had been in communication of it, there's possibly a record of those communications. Maybe people at the company kept all of those emails that Mark may have sent, any phone calls he may have made using his official emails, his official phone. There'd be records of that. There'd be records of that. And wouldn't it be interesting if those records ever got out? Now, if those records got out and it proved that Mark had indeed had large amounts of interaction with this business, behind the scenes privately and in emails, and it was provable that he was involved in it and had ordered or purchased orders or anything from this company, he can't claim no involvement. And then if that had actually happened, and then all of a sudden he pulls all of his support immediately before the arrest, that would mean that Mark knew the arrest was about to happen, but that the people at the gym didn't. How in the world could he know that? Unless he had been involved in talking to the police about it. Not the only possible explanation, the most likely explanation. Just think on that for a while. And Mark had really better hope that no records ever get leaked of his communications with this company, if they in fact did happen. That would be a really, really bad thing for Mark now, wouldn't it? Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.